Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. In today's video we are going to be talking about a beauty brand called Estée Lauder and the person behind it, because her story is really inspiring and fascinating. I have started this new series a couple of months ago with L'Oreal, and this is going to be the second installment in it. I'm going to try to speed up a little bit this in the future and publish these beauty history videos a bit more often, but I just feel like it requires a lot of research, and most of the times I'm quite nervous about missing out some details, so bear with me. I'm gonna try to speed this up because there are so many brands to talk about. But after L'Oreal, this definitely had to be the second one, because I feel like after L'Oreal, Estée Lauder is definitely the second biggest and most well-known beauty brands out there. Estée Lauder was born on the 1st of July 1906 in Queens, New York, and her original name was Josephine Esther Menzer. Her mother was Hungarian and her father was from Czechoslovakia. Her mother immigrated a couple of years earlier with her 5 children following her husband, but then met Estée's father and they fell in love and they got married, and like I said, in 1906 Estée was born. Her first name officially was Josephine. They gave her this name because they wanted it to sound more American, so she's gonna be more accepted in the USA. But she was using the name Esther, and especially the nickname version of it, Estée, a lot more. This is a quite traditional Hungarian name, and I feel that she just preferred that. The family was Jewish, and as you know, around the world wars, a lot of Jewish people left Europe and moved to America, including her family. As a young child and as a teenager, she was quite embarrassed of her background. She was one of 8 children. Her family was quite poor. Her father was a shopkeeper and they lived in the apartment above the shop. She was really insecure about this, and later on in her life she started fabricating stories about being from Vienna and having an Italian nanny and having a lavish life living in Long Island, when in reality she lived in Queens, and like I said, they were quite a poor family. As a young child, she spent a lot of time in her father's store watching him sell things, and I believe this was her very first step towards being a very successful saleswoman. She learned the basics from her father. After the First World War broke out, her uncle, Dr. John Schott, joined them in the USA, and he was a chemist. He was creating skin products, and Estée was becoming more and more interested in that rather than her father's sales job. So she spent more and more time with her uncle, helping them sell the skin products. And as she graduated and she grew up, she decided that this is what she wanted to do. She was regularly getting her hair done in a hair salon, and one time when she visited, they made note of how beautiful her skin was, so that the next time she returned, she decided to bring some products with her, and that was a huge success. After this, she more and more developed this technique of selling products in salons, and she even ended up going to people's houses and they invited their friends over, and she was basically selling these products to a group of people. At the time, she was an amazing salesperson and she managed to sell basically anything she wanted. On a holiday, she met Joseph Lauter, who later became her husband. He was also a Jewish European immigrant. They fell in love, they got married, and they had their first child in 1934 named Leonard. However, as they became more and more focused on the business, she was really career driven, and this basically ended up ruining her marriage. So from Manhattan, after the divorce, she decided to move to Florida, where she lived in Miami Beach with her son, and she was basically chasing this dream. She was trying to find a nice, rich man who could help her financially with her business plans, but after a couple of years she realized that she had the man she wanted all along, and basically when her son got ill, they rekindled their relationship with her ex-husband and they got married again. And in 1944 they had their second son, Ronald. After the birth of her second son, she went back to work basically straight away, but now not alone. Once they got back together, her now again husband decided to support her more in her career plans, and in 1944 they opened their first store and the Estée Lauder company was basically formed. She very soon managed to convince Saks to place a huge order of products with her, which was really successful. They managed to sell everything within 2 days. So she felt like this could really happen and she could really become successful. So she started targeting more and more department stores really aggressively and just selling her products. A quite famous story is when she wanted to sell in Paris in the Galerie Lafayette, and basically it looked like it wasn't gonna happen. She dropped one of her perfumes on the floor and basically everyone walking by noticed it and was asking about this product, and it just became such a success that they couldn't say no to her anymore. So she was very aggressive about her sales tactics. She knew what she wanted and she made sure that happened. She had very specific tactics. She made sure that everyone working for her knows exactly how to massage the products in the skin, knows everything about the products they're selling. She had 15 rules that she advised everyone to follow if they wanted to be a successful entrepreneur. She had very particular rules and ideas of how sales work. I think one of the most famous thing about her is that she was the one who came up with the idea of free samples. They told her that she's gonna go bankrupt if she really does this, but she did it anyway. She spent her entire budget of advertising on free samples and it was a huge success. Basically, she was the first one to give free samples with purchase, and even though at first everyone told her that this was the worst idea ever, now almost everyone does it. If you didn't know, Clinique is also part of her product line. It was the first skincare brand that she came up with after, of course, Estée Lauder itself. And even if you go now to any Clinique or Estée Lauder counters and you buy something, you're most definitely gonna get some product samples with it, and almost at all time they have a package of travel size sample products that you could get with purchasing certain products or spending certain amount of money. And that all started with her. Basically, it was her original idea, and I believe that that's what made her business so successful. Funnily enough, she originally wanted to be an actress. She even starred in a couple of small shows whilst her son was backstage waiting for her. She just basically knew she wanted to be something. She wanted to see her name in the billboards. She thought that the actresses were the most beautiful women on earth, and she basically ended up settling having her name on every jar of products produced by her company. And I think that really made her happy, because once she started acting, she realized that this wasn't satisfying her as much as creating skincare products and selling them was. One of the first products she created was called Youth Dew, which was a combination of a bath oil and a perfume. She basically knew that women wanted to smell nice, and I think that's how her whole perfume line started, not long after she came out with her first perfume called Aramis. And she also came out with one of the most expensive face creams ever made. The product was called Renutriv and it cost $115 at the time. In today's money that would be about $1,000. But she argued if you're willing to spend so much on a Picasso, then you really shouldn't have a problem with spending $115 on having a beautiful face. In 1995, she decided to retire, and in the same year the company went onto the stock market. Her two sons are still both chairmen in the company and they are very active in the decision making. It's truly a success story and it is still a family business. Not only her sons, but her daughter-in-laws are also involved in the company. They really make sure that it stays in the family. They have been acquisitioning other companies basically since the beginning of the 1990s, and I believe that after L'Oreal they are now the second biggest family of beauty brands. They own brands such as Becca, Bobbi Brown, Clinique, Glam Glow, La Mer, MAC Cosmetics, Tom Ford, Too Faced, Smashbox, Origins, Lab Series, and of course Estée Lauder. They also own hair care brands such as Bumble and Bumble and Aveda, and fragrance brands such as the Aramis brand that I already mentioned, Donna Karan, Tommy Hilfiger, Tom Ford, Michael Kors, Jo Malone, and of course Lauder Fragrances itself. She died on the 24th of August 2004 at the age of 97 in her home in Manhattan. She outlived her husband by almost 20 years and she left a huge, amazing and really successful company to her sons. I think it's absolutely amazing what a child of two European immigrants can achieve if she really wants to. I think it's absolutely amazing how she achieved the absolute American dream of starting from zero and building up one of the world's largest companies. Like I said, the only company worth more as of today in the beauty industry is L'Oreal. It's amazing how she, with the help of her father and uncle, learned so much about business and makeup, and then with the support of her husband she single-handedly created this amazing company that is now buying other companies like Bobbi Brown, Smashbox, Too Faced. I think it's mind-blowing and it really shows that if you want to achieve something, you just need to really push for it. That's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this installment in this little series. I'm gonna try to come back with another one very soon because there are so many to talk about. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already because I would love to have you here. And until next time, take care of yourself. I will see you very soon.